Welcome, my people, to the Al and Pal show. It's a Tuesday night. Oh, it's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. We're going to get to it. Man, Bears got routed by the Bucks, and a fan gave back Tom Brady's 600 TD pass. And I want to know, did he get enough? But we also want to talk about World Series, Astros and Braves, game one tonight. And I have an interview with financial professional Olivia Caesar later on in the show. But first, I want to start off on a good, fun, something fun to talk about, and that's the Chicago Bulls. This is the first week of the NBA is in the books, and these Chicago Bulls are 4-0, and they are looking mighty good, might I say. But my question is, are they for real? They beat Detroit twice without Cade Cunningham, and they beat the Raptors, and I forget one more other team. But they are looking good right now. And the acquisitions of DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball is looking good. Plus another some more time with Vucevic. It looks like we have a big four. How are y'all feeling about the Bulls 4-0 start? This is big. This is big. They looking good. Billy Donovan. I didn't like Billy Donovan when he was picked as the Bulls coach, but he got them playing hard, got them playing good defense. I seen Lonzo locking some guys up yesterday, and I knew he was a good defender, but I did not know he was this good of a defender. But he is out there locking guys up, and it's a good sight to see. So the Bulls are 4-0. It says 4-0 for the first time, I think, since 95, 96, or 96, 97. We all know what happened at the end of that year. The Bulls won the championship. I'm not going to go that far and say they're going to do that, but it is good to see. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the Bulls 4-0. And the first week of the NBA season, I had a guy, one of my guys, called me today and say the rookie Patrick Williams. He said Patrick Williams, they need to put him on a bench. He said bring him off the bench, let him run with the second unit, because in the summer league he was averaging maybe like over 20 points, and now he's not doing that. So do Patrick Williams need to go to the bench, or is he playing his role? I had a group text with some of my guys, and that was the argument. One was saying put him on the bench, let him run with the second unit. And one guy said he just playing his role. You know, when you have a DeRozan, a Vucevic, Levine, and a Lonzo Ball, it's not many opportunities for Patrick Williams to get his shot off. But should he be more aggressive? My guy was saying he should be more aggressive. You know, he was averaging 20-something in the summer league. He should average more than 4 shots a game or 4 points, whatever he's averaging. But my other guy was saying, no, he doing his job. They 4-0. He playing his role. So y'all let me know what y'all think. What should happen with Patrick Williams? Because I think it's something good to talk about. But can you argue with the start? You know, he's 4-0. The Bulls are 4-0 right now. And if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know, they 4-0, and I don't see nobody's in their feelings about what's going on. So what's the big deal? But it was a conversation to have. Throughout the first week, what have y'all seen in the NBA? Like I said, the Bulls 4-0, Golden State undefeated. So I know for me, it's excitement. I'm a Bulls fan, and it's good to see that. I also want to talk about Ben Simmons. And the reason why I want to talk about Ben Simmons is y'all make sure y'all put your comments up. I'm gonna share the comments, talk about your comments. But it was another turn in the Ben Simmons saga. So now Ben Simmons is saying he's not mentally ready to play with the 76ers. Now, listen, I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth, but it's mighty ironic that he was getting fined for not practicing and playing in games, and then he says he's not mentally ready to play. That way, then all of a sudden they stop finding him, and they're going to go have a meeting with medical professions. And it's like, is he playing a mental health game, or is he really not mentally ready to play? Because why didn't he just say that in the beginning? But once that money started trickling away from him, oh, I'm mentally not ready. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. I mean, that's nothing to play with. Mental health is real. I know, mental health is real, and it's nothing to play with. But I feel like Ben Simmons is doing any and everything he can do to get paid and get traded by any means necessary. I pull out all the stops. Pull out all the stops to get up out of here. All of a sudden, he says he's mentally not ready to play. Joel Embiid all of a sudden tells the fans, this is my brother. I feel like he used this mental health thing as kind of a scapegoat. Now everybody is kind of like calming down the criticism. And it's just, I don't know, man. I hope he's just telling the truth and he's not using that as a way to, one, get paid, and two, continue to force his way out of Philly, because people have mental health problems for real. And if I sound kind of hoarse, kind of crazy right now, it's because I went to Tampa to go to the game and had a ball out there, so my voice is a little shoddy. It's a little shoddy, but I'm still here. But Bulls are 4-0. Ben Simmons is still not playing for Philly. NBA is rocking and rolling, got games going on tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see how this Ben Simmons thing go, because Daryl Morey said he'll keep him for 4 years. He'll keep him for 4 years if he don't get the proper return. So something's going to have to shake or break in this Ben Simmons saga. Let's get to these Chicago Bears. They got routed by the Bucks 38-3. I was at the game. It was like 28-3 at halftime. It was basically over at halftime. It was over at halftime. Justin Fields, I think 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost. It was bad. The defense couldn't do nothing. They was put in a bad position. The turnovers all over the place. Brady was short fields. And it was just bad. But something did come out of that game. So Tom Brady threw his 600 TD pass to Mike Evans. But he didn't know it was a 600th pass. And so he gave it to the fan, doing a regular thing. And he found out it was a 600 TD pass. And Tom Brady might want that ball back. So let's take a look at what happened, and let's see what happened.
600 it is. Oh, that was the 600. Gotcha. I've never heard of 600 in anything in football, but Brady has it with a strike.
He gave it to the fan
over the middle using his size. And how good is that 600, Jim?
And he gave it to the fan.
No, you cannot do that, Mike.
That's the only 600 touchdown.
His fan immediately wants to take a picture with him with a 600 TD pass.
He had the Evans jersey on.
Somebody got to go get that football back.
So as the game progresses, they try to figure out how they're going to get the ball back.
Oh my!
He just realized it.
Away? The football?
Oh no!
Now you're about to see one of the great negotiations in NFL history.
Right here, he's like, "We need that ball. That's 600. What? Really? So what do you want? $1 million? No.
Oh,
A day with Giselle, and I'm in. Tom? Okay,
Shake.
Tom will do it.
We're going to make sure we do something for you.
That went on for like 2 minutes.
So look, he got the ball back. And then we found out everything that he's supposed to be getting for giving the ball back. And I want to know, is this enough? Is this enough for the ball that he gave back? Because I don't know. So he's going to get 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Tom Brady. 1 signed Mike Evans jersey and game cleats. $1,000 to Bucks team store he can spend on, 2 season tickets for the 21-22 season, and 1 Bitcoin. Now I looked up the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is worth right now around the 60 some thousand range. That's how much it's worth. Is that enough for what he gave up? That Tom Brady, I guarantee you, years to come, that ball is going to be worth a lot of money. Would you have given it back? Or would they? What would be your price tag? What would they have to give you to give that ball back? Because I believe that ball is going to be worth millions in the future. When Brady is retired and they got all types of memorabilia, things of his, I believe that football is going to be worth millions. And everything that they've given him, I don't know if this is worth millions right now. Right now, I just don't know. But he gave it back. It was a good gesture, I think, but that's shocking to do. But he did it. He did it. So, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your price tag? What's the price tag you would have put to give that ball back? Because I found it hard. D-Lynn says yelled. What does that mean? What does that mean, yelled? I need to know what that means because I don't know what that means. Did you yell when he gave it back? Did you yell, say no? What happened there? Did you yell? What happened? Tell me what happened. Once again, the fan gave back Tom Brady's 600 TD pass. Now, like I say, they're going to give him some things. They're going to give him some things. But I believe that ball is going to be worth millions in the future. Millions of dollars. And he gave it back for a few things. So, I don't know. She says no. She's not giving it back. And they pleaded with him and they got him to turn it over. But D-Lynn said no, she's not giving it back. And I would have, if I'm giving it back, I'm not giving it back right then and there. Like, it got to be some extreme negotiations. Extreme. We got to talk about this. I need somebody to help me decide what all this is worth because I don't know if what he got back is enough. Is enough. But he gave it back. So far, make sure y'all share the live, y'all comment. Right now we're talking about NBA Bulls start off 4-0. Any Bulls fans in the live? Ben Simmons, another twist in the case. Ben Simmons is not playing for the 76ers. All of a sudden, he says he's not mentally ready to play for the 76ers. He was getting fined for the games and practices, and now he says he's mentally not ready to play. And they said, we're going to stop fining you. See some medical doctors. We have a meeting, and all of a sudden, he's not. He says not for what he was given. I feel you. That's so D-Lynn says it's not enough. You got to give me some more. How much more? What's the price tag? Give me a number. Give me a number for Tom Brady's 600 TD pass. Give me some numbers. Like I say, I believe that ball is going to be worth millions in the future. Tom Brady is on his way to retiring, so it's going to be coming down the pipeline soon. But man, I couldn't just give it back as soon as it happened like that. I can't do it. And like I said, we're talking NBA. Bulls 4-0. They're doing a thing right now. And Ben Simmons then played the game again. He was out. He was out, not playing with the 76ers. And then he says, I'm mentally not ready to play. And he knows that right now, mental health is a big issue. This is my opinion. This is my belief. He knows mental health is a big deal right now. And so for him to not lose his money and still try to force his way out of Philly, I'm going to say I'm mentally not ready. So my union can fight for me. I can get my money. and I can still try to get up out of here. I still don't want to play for y'all, but I'm mentally not ready. Who's going to say something to him if he says he's mentally not ready in this time and space right now? Everybody know mental health is real. Karina KB says, I see red. Khalid for you. She's from K Elite Furniture. She was on the show. I think last show she was on there, and y'all check out her furniture business. But yes, are you excited about the Bulls? 4-0, number one in the Eastern Conference right now. They doing their thing, man. These acquisitions are working out. There was a lot of ESPN people, NBA people saying this wouldn't be a good fit. But DeMar DeRozan, I watched the game last night. He was clutch. He was the go-to man in the clutch. And Zach LaVine still doing his thing. Vucevic, all-star. LaVine, all-star. Lonzo is peaking at the right time. I feel like this is a good roster. And we don't even have Kobe White right now coming off the bench. Caruso even looks okay. I wasn't that high up on Caruso, but Caruso is looking good. I can't hate. I'm definitely going to try to make a game this year because they are high flying, and it's good to see right now. But I did have a guy that said that Patrick Williams need to go to the bench because he's not doing what he was doing in the summer league. He was averaging 20-some points in the summer league, and now he's not averaging that much. But I had a group chat. They were saying, hey, he's playing his role. Justin Campus, they won't make it past round 2 of the playoffs. Okay, let's talk about it. So if they only make it to the second round, is that an accomplishment? Is that a win? They just the first year they playing together. So that might be still a win. That's a great comment, though. But I pose the question. If they make it to the second round of the playoffs, is that a win? And they first year together. I feel like that's progression. That's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Do y'all feel the same way? This Bulls squad is looking good. It's only 4 games. They only beat Detroit without Cade Cunningham. Toronto. Justin Campbell says, no, we want championships. Progress, brother, progress. You got to crawl before you walk. You can't always get it in the first year. Listen, even when LeBron joined the big 3 in Miami, they didn't win it the first year, and they had 3 Hall of Famers. The Bulls ain't even got 3 Hall of Famers, so it's going to probably take more than 1 year, brother. I understand where you're coming from, but it's probably not going to happen this first year. But to get them into the playoffs, even to the second round, would be a win. It would be a win. I mean, come on, man. Justin Campbell says they won't make it past the second round. He wants championships now. I don't know if they're going to win it this year, but a trip back to the playoffs where they haven't been in a while would be a good sight to see. Get them back in the playoffs. And if they make it to the second round, that is great. That is great. I would love to see that. So what are y'all thoughts? What are your thoughts? And once again, Bears got routed by the Bucks. How are y'all feeling about the progress of Justin Fields? Because, man, it's not looking good right now. Justin Campbell, they went to the NBA Finals and they were championship contenders. Okay. Yeah, they went to the championship. They went to the finals and they lost. You said you want championships right now. So okay. You want them to go to the championship right now. Rap Arrington, making it to the playoffs period is a big accomplishment. The East is loaded. My sentiments exactly, Rap. My sentiments exactly. That's exactly how I feel. But my man Justin Camper is gritty right now. We 4 games in with a new team, and he wants championships right now. We talking about the Bulls right now, James Moore. I said the Bulls right now started off 4-0. Are they for real? And yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. The Bulls 4-0, first week in the books. I know your Golden State Warriors are 3-0. I know you're happy about that. And Clay is not even back with the team yet. So Bulls looking great thanks to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo has been playing great, man, bro. The way he's running the team the way he's running the team, and the way he's defending has been top notch, straight top notch. I'm watching him lock up defenders, and it's a good sight to see. Ball and he's brothers are for real. His brother is for real, or these brothers are real. I hope he's talking about the Bulls are for real. But my guy Justin Camper says they won't make it past the second round. But I'm saying if they make it to the second round, that's a great accomplishment. And James, I know you went to the basketball deep. If the Bulls make it to the second round of the playoffs, how big is that? How big is that? Lakers, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis. Yes, that happened while I was in Tampa. Man, that was a scuffle. Good comment, Karina. Ball boys are real. So you're talking about Melo and Lonzo. Yeah, they are for real, man. When LeVar was talking how good Lonzo was, then he said, "You ain't seen nothing till you seen Melo." He was spitting facts. He was spitting all facts. But did anybody see the Dwight Howard Anthony Davis scuffle? Because it seemed like Anthony Davis tried to put his hands on Dwight Howard, tried to rough him up a little bit, man. James Moore says it's huge if they get through first round because they are just getting together. I totally agree, brother. Totally agree. Why are they fighting more on the bench than on the court? Oh, Karina said they got more fight on the bench than on the court. James Moore said AD was wrong. Why was he wrong? Why was he wrong? I don't know the backstory of why he roughed him up, but you know, one of my guys was saying, you know, Dwight Howard be doing some strange things, man. You know, ain't no telling what Dwight Howard did to get AD like that. Bulls and Hornets are the most exciting teams to watch thanks to the Ball brothers. That's interesting. They are exciting right now. They are very exciting. Are they the most exciting teams to watch though? I think the Hornets need a few more stars to go with Melo. Melo is exciting, but I think they need a few more. They need a few more to be the most exciting. LaMelo, I would pay to go see him. Facts. I would pay to see him. But I think I think Mikal Bridges is good. But I don't think they straight box office just yet. I'll pay to see Melo for sure. But they need like one more player, in my opinion. One more player. And and James Moore, for the people that just tuning in, we also talked about how the Bears got routed 38-3. The progression of Justin Fields. They looked real bad. Rap Aronson says, watch out for Miles Bridges. He came to play. Dude he stays on a highlight reel. James Moore said he was trying to talk to him about a play. Howard just walked to the bench, then AD got in his face, then Howard responded. If that's the case, if he would just talk to him about a play, then yeah, AD made it overreacted. But I think it's a lot more to that story. Hornets are better than the Bulls, you'll see. Come on, man. You think they better than the Bulls right now, bro? You think they better than the Bulls right now? Okay. I don't know about that right now, bro. We got some players, man. We got some players. Bears suck. Yeah. It was a horrible game. Talk to me about Justin Fields and the progression of Justin Fields, because this is just like the Cleveland game. That's how bad it was. Rap Aronson says, you bugging, James. Get him, Rap, because the Hornets definitely ain't better than the Bulls right now. You give me this starting lineup. You give me this starting lineup with an up and coming Patrick Williams. Come on, man. This team looking nice right now. What four you got against this four with the Hornets, James? Okay, just to let you know. And what y'all think about Ben Simmons, man? Because all of a sudden, like I say, now he says he's mentally not ready to play. And I think it's mighty interesting because he was getting fined. He was getting fined for games and practices. And then now when he said he's mentally not ready to play, all of a sudden he's going to get his money now. All he got to do is go see some medical attention and find out what's going on to see. I think mental health is real, but I think he might be using it as a scapegoat. James Moore, like I told you, week 1, Fields is not ready. Listen, man, I just wanted him over Andy Dalton, man. Andy Dalton is a sitting duck, and I thought Fields would be more athletic and be able to move around more. But it's turning out he's not moving that well. I think Sean Carrier tuning in for YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, brother. I think Zion trying to leave the Pelicans. Hey, let's talk about Zion real quick. Zion is in commercials eating chips and Mountain Dews, and they said he got up to 300 pounds in the season. I don't know what he's going to do, but that 300 pounds is not going to work. Rap Aronson, Field should have never hit the field this early, bro. Hey, listen, y'all might have a point. It's starting to look like that. But we got to remember the play calling was suspect, and the offensive line is terrible too. But I thought even with the offensive line, I thought he would be able. Listen, if the first read ain't there, you okay to take off with me, because that's how bad the O-line is. He ain't got time to go through progressions. So if you got to just dip off, just go. James Moore says Rozier, Ball, Hayward, and Bridges. I would say this, James, I would give you props. That's a good 4. That's a good 4, but I like my 4. That's a good 4. So he got Terry Rozier, Melo Ball, Gordon Hayward, Mikal Bridges against this 4. Which 4 do you like more? That's a good comparison, James. I give you props. That's a good comparison. But I'll take my 4. I think they pretty evenly matched too. It's a good 4 though. I can't hate on that. I cannot hate. Let's see. D-Lynn says Ben Simmons, no love for the game. Hey man, I don't know how this is gonna end, but Ben Simmons, he's definitely playing the game, and now he can get paid now. Let's see. It's not Fields, it's the trash line and horrible play calling. I agree with that, Rap. The trash line, bro. I'm talking about he took one look and the defensive line is on his head. James Moore talking about Oubre and Plumlee. He talking about the bench players. Bro, we got Kobe White ain't played yet. We got Caruso playing well. So if you want to add a couple more to them 4 that you add, I got a couple too. Dallas Super Bowl prospect. Dallas, they playing much better defense. And Dak is balling. They look good right now, but they always accident waiting to happen. James Moore, Bears have always been offensively challenged. That is true. It's true. But I was hoping with Justin Fields, his athleticism. I banked a lot on his athleticism. That's maybe my fault, but Dallas is Super Bowl ready. I think he said Dallas is Super Bowl ready. We'll see. Super Bowl ready. Let's take a look in the NFC. Who you got in the NFC? You got to put the Bucs at the top of the list. Arizona is undefeated. I mean, where do you rank Dallas? Dallas is in the conversation. I agree with you. Plumlee is a career backup. Rap Aronson says Plumlee is a career backup. Yes, he is. So you can. I don't think he liked the Plumlee suggestion. Your Plumlee pick, he not feeling. So, but look, hey, we got the World Series going on tonight. Game 1 of the World Series. Is anybody watching the World Series? Are you interested in the World Series? The Astros are back in the World Series, and they're going against the Braves. Are you watching the World Series? And if you are, who do you got? And then if the Astros win, what does that do for their legacy? Because they was caught in a cheating scandal for the 2017 World Series. If they win this one, is it legit? Will it dismiss that other championship? James Moore says DeRozan is a fan, not a player. He be starstruck and folds against great players. Listen, you got a great point when you say he be starstruck and folds against great players. He has been, when he played against LeBron, he did a lot of complimenting and all of that stuff. So I agree with you on that. James. But I think he's learned from that, and hopefully he's better. James Moore, what's the World Series? You real funny right now. That's the baseball championship. But look, I want to get to my interview of the day. Listen, it's about the time where you get your finances in order. Holiday season is right around the corner. You want to get your finances right. And plus, I'm not hating on people who use GoFundMe accounts and those different type of things, but it's better when you're prepared for tragedies and death in the family. So today I have the honor of bringing on a classmate and someone who is a profession in the financial industry. Olivia Caesar, thank you for joining the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah, super
How's
excited
it
about
going?
being here. It's going good. So I always get nervous when I get an opportunity to talk about something I'm really passionate about. So just trying to, like minimize the energy and keep it at a minimum level is kind of hard for me. So
Yeah. No, let it go. Bring it all out. Let it go. Let it fly. Bring all the energy.
Gotcha.
Because if it takes that energy to get people what they need, then do what you got to do. But I also want to talk about how much you love Joe Budden. Let's talk about that before we get into the life insurance. Why is it that you love Joe Budden so much? It's been years. I messaged you and said, "Are you still Joe Budden's lover?" And you said, "Absolutely." What is it that you love about Joe Budden? Because this is baffling to me.
So Joe Budden actually gets played on my playlist quite oftenly. Like that's when. It's just certain moments where you just kind of need to vibe out, think, but not really be too much into your thoughts. Just have some type of music where get your mind going and thinking, and have those pause moments. So for me, Joe Budden, I think it's the lyrics. I think he's a lyricist genius. Even if before I really start liking him from a lyrical standpoint, I really just like the tracks that he was on. Who is Joe Budden? So James, you and I can have another conference after this, and I can give you the whole history.
Yeah, he trolling. He know who Joe Budden is. He trolling. But listen,
I get that often, so it's not rare.
So let's talk about what you do, because I seen one of your posts earlier today when it was in it where I guess someone, family member has passed, and you was able to deliver them to some good news, I guess, about a claim that they might have to put in for the person's insurance, and you was able to provide service for them where the finances part they didn't have to worry about because they was covered. Right. Talk about what you do and that story and how and just how you deal with those type of things.
Okay. Well, I do want to give a little bit of background. So the financial industry actually was introduced to the industry when I was about 19 years old. High school teacher Sheila Carpenter reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm doing something in addition to teaching. I want you to take a look at it." She came over. We just had, I don't feel like death is a stranger to me and my family, our communities, and so forth. So when one of the products was life insurance, it was something that I immediately knew that me and my family needed. So we jumped on that day. She was already working for 10, 15 years. And I figured, hey, if there's something about the money game that she knows and I'm just not getting into the world, then I need to follow her lead. So I started getting into the financial service industry. So I did that for about 5 years. I think I worked 10 times harder than some of my, peers because they were a lot older. They were a lot more established, in their professions and their families and so forth. But even though I kind of worked harder to get the same results, I really learned a lot, saw a lot, and just really bumped shoulders with a lot of great people. Not only were they 6 and 7 figures earners, but they had, so much knowledge in the industry. So fast forward 5 years later, I ended up going to college to get a couple of degrees in what I was already doing in the work field. Let those, have my securities license, life insurance license, and all that, kind of let it lapse. Knew I wanted to get back in the game, but just kind of was hesitant on when. So last year, one of my mentors when I was in the business, 10 plus years ago, had put up they were doing something similar to this, similar to this platform. They was doing an interview with one of my favorites in the industry. And I asked, could I jump on? They said, sure. And I knew it was kind of like, all right, like they're gonna try to get me after this. And sure enough, they said, man, just come back in. And I did. And when I first got in, it took me about 6 months to get my license. I took the exam 4 times. And I don't like to think that, like I think I'm pretty smart, like for the most part, yeah.
You was very smart in high school. You was
for some reason that exam just kept taking me out. So last year when I joined, first 3 weeks in, studied, took about 2 weeks, studied for the exam, went and took it, passed it, flying colors. They give you about 2 hours to take the test. I did it in 45 minutes. Within 3 months, had I don't even count the people that joined, because I'm pretty sure we had over 20 associates about 15-ish associates that joined, and out of that, 7 of them actually got licensed. 2 out of those 7 actually brought a couple more people on board and got their friends and family members licensed as well. So now we have a field of people that's licensed from Louisiana, from Indiana, from Texas, just to name a few states, that's now equipped to go have a conversation about the things that you just mentioned, which is not only just life insurance, because we like to look at life insurance as like I got to die to get it, which in some cases is true, but it's also, when you think about it, death is true, and I always tell people, I don't care who you are, what you do, what you don't do. We do know that one thing that we all have in common is that we're going to die, and it's a conversation that we don't like to have, but it's needed. And I think it's more so needed because a lot of us miss the boat with what all that entails. Number one, that's the only bill that you're going to pay that actually pays you back. Okay. The second thing is, it saddens me when I talk to families that have insurance, and they may have, the $20,000-$50,000 policies, but then they have 2 or 3 kids or more, or their mortgages, their mortgages, their house is valued over, $100,000, $250,000. So that $50,000 isn't going to, do a whole lot for your family. So just being able to have those conversations, and being able to show them. And my biggest thing is, hey, you don't have to do business with me, but just listen. Just listen to some of the key ways to build wealth, using life insurance as one of the tools, but then also some of the other, concepts that we don't talk about. The goal is to retire. The goal is for our kids to go to college with no debt. The goal is for us to, not have any debt and so forth. So all of those goals can be attained. Sometimes we can utilize the industry, and that's just kind of being an asset to other people as a tool to supplement our income. But then also we don't make it there. We don't have those 30, 50 years to retire and so forth. Again, even in our absence, we can still see those goals being reached through the life insurance.
Let me ask you this, because we see it a whole lot in the Black community. Why is it so much in the Black community where life insurance is not a priority? Because go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked. And I do want to go back. Make sure you keep me honest and on task for answering these questions, because again, I get excited and I start talking. So I'm gonna go back to that question. So when I came back in the business, my first thing is I always reach out to people that I know, have something happens, their family's going to be devastated. They have kids, they're responsible. And I came back into the business this last year with more of an intention to, like, who can appreciate this information? I'll share with everyone, but who can appreciate it? So out of that, within this last, so I got back into business in June, and December and January, we had 2 deaths back to back with clients that did business with me. Both of those applications were still in the contestable period, meaning that they hadn't had the policy for more than 2 years. One of them, actually, the client had, so this was actually 3 applications. So one of them, the application had been approved, but not issued yet. So we're at the tail end now of that, of another payment being paid out to the family. So for me, that was, if nothing else, like I came back in here, for that purpose. to be able to, like I said, it's never great news telling someone, hey, here's a check, but you had to lose a loved one, you had to lose your son, you had to lose your mom, you had to lose, to lose anyone, but here's some money. But because we can't predict and we can't control what happens, just being able to say, hey, here's something and thank you for trusting me, because telling somebody, hey, they're going to contest this, but you're still going to get paid. If everything is true on application, we're good.
Right.
You're going to get paid. That's a long process, And so to answer the second question, I think that it's something that we don't talk about in the Black community, number one, because, money is kind of a secret, So, one of the things that I'm big on, and some of my friends and, and colleagues, they probably think, man, why is she throwing out numbers, with my kids, especially my teenagers, we're young men now, I talk to them about money. I talk to them about income, when I started my career as a territory manager, I showed them, hey, I'm paying, the taxes I'm paying is now more than the annual income that I was making
Right.
when I was 19, 20 years old, so we have those conversations that I think that, a lot of times in the Black community, we don't have. So when you think about, why isn't it a priority? It's number one, because we don't talk about money, we don't talk about generational wealth. It's almost kind of a fear that, or maybe this belief that we don't deserve it,
I think this though, as I'm thinking about everything that you're saying and the conversation that we're having, I think that like our parents didn't have the same opportunities as we have now. And so I feel like they were just scratching and pawing just to make it. And they didn't have the information. And so I think now we're in a better position.
Correct.
And we need people like you to continue to deliver these messages to people where, okay, it don't have to be that we don't know anymore. That's our parents and things of that nature. I think they couldn't teach us because one, they didn't know, two, maybe they didn't have the resources. And so now I think we're in a better position. Do you think that's part of it?
I definitely think so. And fun fact, I feel like a lot of families, especially the ones that, I feel like a lot of families, especially like our parents and within that generation, they had insurance. They had insurance, they prioritized, and they were proud that they had, and they was, doing the right thing for their families. But a lot of us, when we think about our, our elder families, they didn't have enough. So they had just enough burial where, okay, so we may not have they may not have to do as many GoFundMe accounts, but there was nothing left afterwards. So now you still got to replace. So now the funeral is done, the burial is done, but what about the income that was coming in every month or every 2 weeks that's now not there? So how does the dynamics of the family change, or who raised the kids and so forth? So I think that our parents and grandparents had policies. I just don't think that they had enough and they had the right ones. So now, yeah, we are in a different time. So now, when you think about us as, Black individuals, we're doing a lot more. From an education standpoint, we have more resources and access to certain things. So now we just have to just change the game and make sure we have it in place.
Right. So I'm thinking now, in the position that we're in now, you can actually sit down with somebody and maybe help them work with their finances. So life insurance and stuff like that is not put to the back burner. Can you tell the people about maybe the conversations you might have with people to get their finances in order, where life insurance is not pushed to the back and probably pushed to the forward more?
Honestly, I think one of the things that I use the most is, number one, just being passionate about it and my personal experience. And this is kind of touchy for me because, from a personal standpoint, my mom was pregnant with my brother when my dad passed away. He died at 21 years old. And so that's something that I've been familiar with, from the beginning. We also have, another situation with my mom. She got diagnosed with a very serious, uncurable, rare disease, and that hit her in the middle of her 30s. And after you get diagnosed with something like that, you're insurable. You're not insurable.
Right.
And so a lot of times we think too, like, oh, well, I'm still young, I can get it later, I still have time on my side, or youth on my side. So I just use personal experience and letting them know, hey, I have both. I have dad that passed away at 21, can't do nothing
Right.
after that, and I have a mom that wasn't insurable in her mid 30s, so just just really using my passion about my personal stories, and then just asking them, what's important to you, and then you get to some of the stories. Well, like if something happened to me, I don't want my spouse to be able to live this way and have this and that, and that's
Yeah.
we got some issues after that,
Right.
So
James Moore says the longer you wait, the more expensive it is. It's locked in from the age you start. And that's a great point. Like, it's better to get it when you're young and you're healthier. As you age, stuff start coming up. And Angela Caesar says we were taught. And so is I think she related to you.
So Angela, let me give you some background. So Angela Caesar, she's actually one of my dad's I want to say first or second generation cousins. And I met her years ago, when we first started really utilizing Facebook. I saw the last name, and I was in the business then. So probably about 15 years ago, and I reached out to her and said, hey, I see that we're related. Just seeing some of your posts, you're like a go-getter. I'm in this industry. I need some go-getters on my team. I need to sit down and talk with you. And we had a phone call. Never met her a day in my life. She knew who I was, via my dad, but she didn't know me. We had a phone call, and she says I'm in. I sent her the paperwork. She she signed her signature, did everything, and was one of my superstars 15 years ago. So when we fast forwarded, we had a 10-year gap. I got back in the industry last year, and I called her up, said, hey, cousin, let's get this one more try. And she said, first cousin. So I said, hey, let's give it one more try. And she was actually one of the individuals that got 3 people licensed direct to her. And she's out in the Texas area. So again, this is just another thing that it don't have to be strangers. A lot of times we think, man, in order for me to really make an impact and help some people, I got to go out there and do this thing, bust and hustle and talk to strangers and all that. Man, the people that need our services are the people that we talk to on a daily basis, or the people that know us through, our friends and family. So the connections are always there.
That's and as you talking, I'm thinking back now, even with me, like I didn't get it. So I'm 37 now. I feel like I didn't get it till I reached 30 or something, 30-ish. And it was like, I think it's a fear mindset as well. Like, man, thinking about death, like, I think it's a little scary. Maybe it's just for me. And when you think about not being here, like, that's kind of crazy. And so I think maybe people don't want to face it. You know what I'm saying? Like something might happen to me, or something might happen to your loved one. Like, I think that's a scary thought to have. Dude, am I tripping when I say that?
No, that's really common. It's really common, and especially again, if you haven't had any personal experience with someone, direct to you, or again, where it's really talked about and really enforced, then I think so. And I find most situations, we either have, an adult in the family that kind of takes on that role, and then when you're old enough to say, okay, well, hey, now I'm in a now position where, like, hey, I need to do this for myself. Or, if you have a spouse or children, or even if you have a mortgage, I had someone ask me, like, hey, I'm single, I don't have any kids. Do I need insurance? And, just making light of the situation. I'm like, well, you don't have to have kids and be married to die.
Right.
Like it happens. So.
Right. Somebody's going to have to take care of you if you die. Like,
yeah, and then it's one of those things where, hey, it may be just for burial, but then again, we're talking about building generational wealth, and that's one of the quickest ways that you can build that. So even if you may not need, 100,000, $250,000, maybe you can pass it along to another family member.
Right. James Moore says, losing my father was the worst thing in my life, and I'm glad he had a whole life policy, so at least we didn't have to stress over that during that horrible time. And that's another thing that happens, man. that stress of trying to find out how we're gonna get this done, get somebody buried and pay for a casket, do this and that. That is a stressful thing. Olivia, now, when did you start like you said, I know you said you knew it from the start, but when were you taught about life insurance and that how when did you get taught about that?
So I think I got taught more about it when I got into the industry. So that was around 19, 20 years old, 2010.
Okay.
2009, 2010 is when I joined. And when I said, Miss Carpenter, our former high school teacher, came to me and started talking to me about it. So that was in December. In October, my brother's childhood best friend, Pee Wee James Baker, had got killed. Right. And I remember when that happened, and my thought was, man, like, when do I get paid? How much money do I have? How much money can I get? Right. His mom and so forth. And when I found out she had a life insurance policy, I was like, man, this got to be the smartest woman in the world. Like, I just
right.
Because it's not something that we talk about, right? And so, I started thinking about, okay, like, we need to do this, for me and my family. My twin boys was 2 years old, and again, like I knew death, even prior to that experience. So, I started thinking about it, looking for it, but I didn't know who to talk to. And the commercials, it's like, well, that's not personal,
right? It's not. But and the reason why I asked that question is because, once again, it wasn't a family discussion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my family, it wasn't a family sit down like, hey, this is something that's important we need to have. It was more of something happened, or a teacher came and told me,
Mm-hmm.
And I think as families, more families need to actually just have that discussion, because we don't want to have to wait a long time or get caught off guard, something happening and we don't have any answers.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you do this type of work. Can you tell the people, if they need some services, what can they do to get in contact with you?
Yes, and James have a topic or question he wants to ask too. But so I do have a website. The platform that I'm affiliated with is called World Financial Group. So you can actually go to that website. It's Agents World WORLD Financial Group / Olivia Cesar. Personally, I just put in Olivia Cesar and World Financial Group and Google it, and it'll come up. I am also on social media. I really don't use the social media a whole lot. I mean, I let me take that back. I do. I do, but it's more with people that I already know that I could just say, hey, hey, we need a conversation or something. But you can reach me on there. And if you're serious, just, shoot me a message and let me know, hey, Olivia, I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to talk to you more. My time is free. Again, I'll let people know you don't have to do business with me. But if you have the information, you could at least go to someone else and make sure that they're giving you the right product. I'm on LinkedIn as well, Olivia Cesar. I do have a business number 225-380-6202.
Okay. And maybe you can put this information in the comments after the show as well, so people will be able to have it, or so I know people will be, sometimes they get the rebroadcast, and all the people that's in now, we put it in the comments, maybe that'll help out as well.
Okay.
And James said a living will. Olivia, can you talk about that, if you will?
Absolutely. I just think that by itself is kind of self-explanatory. We don't think it is, but you do. Like it's kind of sad how some people, you got two spectrums. You got people that kind of work for what they want, and you got people that wait for what they want, right? And if you think that you're going to get something, that waiting period for certain individuals can end up being conflict between the family members and trying to pick what is what. So I definitely agree on getting a living will. Sorry, my kids are trying to get up. But we do also living wills is also one of the services that we provide. And I tell everyone, hey, if it's not of service in the financial realm that I can offer, I guarantee you that I could connect you with the right person that can. And I'm very huge on, using people that's going to do the right thing for the right people, not just to get a check.
Right.
So yeah, living wills, even if you don't have anything, if you feel like, hey, I don't have a mortgage, or, I don't have a huge amount of my savings, it can be something that, it can be something like, who do you want to raise your children? Or just anything from the most what we consider simple, or some things that we may take for granted. You can actually have that, and there's no there's no final discussion of how they choose to separate everything, or to do everything. So James, you're on track there.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to check with you on that. I got a ton of insurance, but I need my business in order. Listen, and before I didn't even have, I usually come with a come to church scripture, but this just popped in my head as we was talking. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And what better, this is an easy way to leave an inheritance for your children's children if you have a good life insurance. I mean, that's right on time. So if you don't want to believe in us, believe in the word of God and go check out Proverbs 13:22, and don't die and leave your children nothing. Now this says your children's children, your grandchildren are supposed to be set off because of you. But we just trying to get you to do the basics and at least leave your children's without the headache of having to bury you, and hopefully that you leave them something left over. So, hey, Proverbs 13:22. That's the scripture. Let's see. James Moore, my children better not have no children. Yeah, brother, it's coming. It's coming, okay? My daughters better not, at least. Yeah, okay. But before I get up out of here, first of all, I want to just first thank you, Olivia, for coming and having some fun with me. It was a blast. And I also want, so she left her information. But yeah, we're gonna put it in the comments as well. We're gonna put it in the comments so everybody can have it. But make sure y'all, hey, listen, subscribe to our YouTube, follow, like, and review our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We got merch. This is the breast cancer awareness hoodie. I don't know if you can see it, but you got the black and pink. We ship long distance, all colors, hoodies, shirts, long sleeves, all that good stuff. If you know somebody that got a business would like to advertise on the show, message me. We can make that happen. And yeah, that's what it is. Thank you, Olivia. You got any last words?
I do. I just want to thank you for your time. Again, giving me this opportunity, this platform. Today was a huge day, with the win of being able to deliver that information and that check to the family, and then now being able to, have this platform to speak about something I love and passionate about, and getting a chance to connect with you on this awesome platform that you set. Every once in a while I get a chance to jump in, and I'm not the best when it comes to sports and what's going on. I would easily mess it up. So I enjoy hearing inserts from experts like you, and just feel like I'm, a little bit more knowledgeable. So I appreciate you and thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. We are about to get up out of here. And you're lucky because I didn't get a chance to ask you no sports questions. Usually I ask my guests about 1 or 2 sports questions.
I do have one.
Let's go.
So fun fact, I don't know, after today's topic, I don't know if this is a good, I don't know if this is a good one to announce, but so Ben Simmons is actually related to us in my family tree. So his godfather, David Patrick, is actually my second cousin, Cassie Patrick's husband. So he coaches right now for Oklahoma. And when we go visit my aunt, Ben Simmons is on the table with the rest of the family pictures. So
well, I said some things earlier might not be pleasing to the ear, but I was just being a fan. Maybe you had some inside information you could have gave us earlier, you know.
I have absolutely no inside information, so we just take bragging rights of, you know, like, hey, he's in the family.
Well, yeah, Ben Simmons, the Allen Powers show love you, man. You know, we were just analyzing the situation and what's going on. Real quick, before you go, Team LeBron or Team Jordan, the GOAT?
Oh my God. So I feel like I was forced to sit in my grandmother's living room and hear her and my brother fuss at the competing teams. So I'm going to go with Jordan.
Sounds good to me. And we're going to leave on with that great nugget right there. And we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all.
Have a good one.
We lock and load, Allen Powers. It's the Allen Powers Show. Yeah.